Yeah, ne. Motho tswa hole. I mean, people who meet me now think I've got everything. But the truth is, without you, my people, I wouldn't be standing here today.
The people in our lives, past and present, paint a complex but beautiful canvas that forms the backdrop of who we are. So much of the learning and the growth we experience throughout our lives happens outside conventional learning environments. It happens at home when we are children. It happens in our workplaces, in our friendships, and in our families. So who do you consider to have influenced and shaped who you are today? Metropolitan has launched an inspiring campaign dubbed #MyPeopleMyEverything. This campaign encourages South Africans to acknowledge and celebrate the people who have shaped their lives. And to share more on this, we're joined by Peter Tshiguvho, the Metropolitan Chief Executive Officer. Mr. Tshiguvho, a very good morning to you. Thanks for joining us. Welcome to Morning Live.
Good morning, Simpiwe and the viewers, and thank you for having me.
A brilliant and yet heartwarming campaign this is. Why was it important to you, for you to put it together?
Okay. In many ways, if we were to look at it, this campaign is very much informed by what we know as togetherness, more so in the different communities. Now, in my view, this campaign of my people, my everything, it really encapsulates the essence of Ubuntu. As we say in many other settings, we refer to, it takes the whole village to see a child grow. And that, to me, it talks to togetherness. Yes, we live in an environment where now we are very much encouraged to be individuals. We are very much encouraged to be the only person who can say, I've made it, I've done very well. It is key for us to fully understand that who we are today, it is very much informed by where we come from. It is informed by the people that is really contributed to make sure that we can remain focused. And at times you would find that you have people who had to nudge you into the right direction because you were somehow getting derailed. And that is where we're coming from to say the people in our lives, they play a major role. And that, to me, it is key and it is very much important. And that is against that backdrop that we came up with the power of a collective, my people, my everything.
Yeah, you've just mentioned an old saying that it takes a village to raise a child. And I guess it fits very well with this campaign. So how has the response been from people?
Okay, so the journey so far has been very encouraging because we started on the 15th of April, wherein we launched our advert, which comes with this campaign, wherein you will see a young woman who lost both the parents after losing the parents. And this young woman, she continued to really grow. But if you were to look into the different people who contributed to her growth, this could be neighbors, some of the relatives, even Amajita Ekonen, they played a role in seeing that this person can be able to be the person that she is today. And in the end, she was coming to say, thank you to all of you for the contribution that you have made. And that, to me, it talks to everyone who was very much involved to that particular area to ensure that she can be the person that she is. And now, that is only a beginning. There are other things that we're doing to ensure that we can be able to continue with this campaign. The next thing will be the Digi series. And that, in my view, it talks to all South Africans to say, we want to create awareness around this campaign. Because when we create awareness around this campaign, what we are going to get is people are going to be much more intentional.
Yes.
And now when you become intentional, the results are going to be very much impactful. And this is what we'd like to see. And now to our different platforms, we're going to be inviting other people from all different walks of life who are going to come and share their own stories, their own journeys, the people who have impacted them. But when you acknowledge people who have done so in your life, they also feel about themselves. And they will continue to make sure that they can be intentional in making sure that they can impact other people positively. And that, to me, it is a journey. That, to me, it talks about the ripple effect which will be coming from this journey that we have really embarked on.
Yeah, and the campaign will be telling stories about the power of the collective from different perspectives. So what are the common stories shared?
Okay, I think the power of a collective on a personal level, it talks about diversity. I mean, for someone who's been alive now for quite a number of years, decades. And the key thing is you come across different people in your life who play different roles. Some of them teach you lessons that you'll be able to apply for the rest of your life. And that, to me, it talks to how could I have been if I didn't have these people who were so important in my life. My mom, as a single parent, she played a major role, which up until today, there are certain things that I can be able to make reference to. My teachers, they had a role to play. And there's a friend of mine, Tabero, who has been very close to me. At one stage, we were studying the MBA class together. It was a 3-year program. We did the first year, we passed. And during the second year, I reached a point where I was tired because every weekend, on a Saturday, we have to meet with the group. It was taking its toll on me. On the other hand, you have got deliverables at work. I reached a point where I said, you know what, Tabir, I'm out of here. This is really tough. I will be able to use the qualifications that I have, and I also have got a job. And then at that time, I had reached a point where I felt like this, I'm no longer going to be able to do. You couldn't allow me to. As much as I stopped going to those classes for about 4 or 5 weeks, almost on a daily basis, he continued getting in touch with me to say, hey, why are you doing this? These are the results that you can be able to get from here. After 5 weeks, I went back. And then I went back to study for that year. The following year, I managed to graduate. If I didn't have someone like that, that wouldn't have happened. So many people have got stories to tell about the teachers who did certain things for them. But without that teacher and the intervention they would have done, that person wouldn't be where they are, even in a working environment where we are today. I mean, I am currently looking after the Metropolitan business. It is key for me to make sure that I can galvanize everyone in that business towards the one goal. That to me talks to the power of a collective, because if I only have one person who's doing
Mr.
well in the
Tshiguvho,
organization, I'm not going to achieve anything.
So
But
who
when
generally
we work together
has
as a team,
influence
we get
on
a
the
lot.
success of someone? Like, who generally has got influence on the success of someone, or does it differ from person to person?
Yes, it does, because it comes in many ways. I gave an example of we will be getting different people who are coming to share their own stories. Sometimes this may be someone that you don't even know. Your story can be able to inspire someone who's sitting somewhere else who can relate to that. And then in other instances, you would have people in your life who live with you or who work with you, who can be able to work with you closely and share, as well as guide you into the right direction and become a much better person. So this comes in different ways, and so many things can happen that can be able to influence an individual to be a better person themselves.
All right, Mr. Tshiguvho, great chatting to you. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Simpiwe.
The hashtag My People, My Everything campaign will be telling stories about the power of the collective from different perspectives. This campaign will showcase and just celebrate how important it is to understand the value that our people have on our growth as individuals. We just spoke to the CEO of Metropolitan, Mr. Peter Tshiguvho. All right, before we say goodbye,